My name is Nathalie GIRIRIMANA. I'm a student in Associate of Arts with College for America at Southern New Hampshire University. Now I'm going to present about different questions that are mostly asked in mock interview. The first question goes like, tell me about yourself. As I have said, my name is Nathalie GIRIRIMANA. I'm a student in Associate of Arts with College for America at Southern New Hampshire University. I recently graduated from accountants in advanced level where I was studying at Mendes High School. The second question is, tell me about your past work experience. About my past work experience, when I finished my high school, I got a chance to be a teacher. I was a primary English teacher in a primary school where I was teaching English, providing different skills to students like speaking skills, writing skills, and listening skills. From that experience, I had different responsibilities like filling different professional documents such as scheme of works, journals, diary, reports, other documents, so on. Other responsibilities that I have are like solving different problems that could happen among students. Also, when I was in high school, I got a chance to be a head girl. From that experience, I had different responsibilities like managing different events like meetings, parties, and also talent shows. From that experience also, I had to solve different problems that could happen among the students that I was reading and helping those students to reach to the superiors. That was all about my past experience. The following question is, describe a time when you worked well on a team. The time I worked well on a team is the time I was a head girl in high school. At school, we had a party. We were celebrating Holy Champagne, and we had different tasks to accomplish at that time, like preparing food that people could eat at that day, preparing where people could sit, preparing where the mass could take place. And I personally, I had a task of preparing where visitors could sit. It was like decorating that place. And I did my task effectively in a team because I completed my task very early, and it was effective because where I have decorated, it was very sweet. It was looking so sweet. So after completing my task, I was eager to help other people who were not yet done. Like I helped a person who was preparing where the mass could take place, in order to finish his task very early so that the mass could start on time. Other question is, tell me about time when you had too many things to do and had to prioritize your task. It was time also when I was an English teacher in primary school. I had so many tasks to accomplish at the end of the first term. Those tasks were like complete. First of all was grading the marks for the exam, completing different documents like journals, reports, adding the marks for the students, sorting the student into two categories, like students who performed well and those who were still struggling. So for me, there was too many tasks to accomplish at that time, and in order to prioritize those tasks, I took the task which is mostly needed to be completed, like grading the marks of the student, because I couldn't record their marks into journals without grading the exams. So my tasks were effective because I prioritized them in that way, and I did all my tasks and I met the deadline. So I was effective in completing those tasks. Other question is, tell me about the time when you had to go above and beyond the call of duty. How did you handle the situation? The time that I had to go above and beyond the call of the duty is the time when I was a head girl in high school, where I was studying in high school. During the time of exam, it was forbidden for students to go to the health center to take care of other students. So at that time, the matron was at the health center to care for the student who was sick. So the headmaster came and told me, you as head girl, you have to complete all tasks that the matron had to complete this day. Those tasks were like giving permission to the student who could need this permission, completing the daily report, waking up the students, punishing some students. So for me, it was so hard because I didn't do those tasks before. So, and I was not familiar with those tasks. So to handle this situation, I used interpersonal skills and communication skills that I got from these leadership skills from being head girl. I communicated to the patron and the headmaster in order to know how things go on and how they are performed at school. So they taught me how to do it, and I did it effectively because of using those skills that I got from being head girl. Other question is, tell me about the time when you worked effectively under pressure. The time when I worked effectively under pressure is the time when I was an English teacher also. Because I didn't do education in my high school, while teaching, I was struggling with completing professional documents because I was not familiar with them. So I was under pressure because at the first week, the headmaster came and told us that we have to submit all documents by the end of the week, and we were mandated to submit the completed document. So I had pressure because during that week I had to teach, to complete those documents, to learn how to complete those documents and complete them. So, and when Friday came, I had not yet known how to complete those documents. So in order to overcome this situation, I sat somewhere during my free time with a teacher who had an experience in teaching, and I told him to teach me how to complete those documents so that I can submit them early and meet the deadline. So the teacher taught me how to complete those documents, and I learned to complete them, and I submitted those documents, completed, and I met the deadline. So other question is, give me an example of time when you showed initiative. The time I showed initiative is the time I was head girl. We were going, it was time to finish our secondary school, and as the committee of the school, we had to meet in order to discuss about things that we can do, which can be the memory of us at that school. I personally gave an idea of cultivating two gardens, the garden for flowers and the garden for vegetables. And I showed initiative because that idea was mine, and I was the first to contribute in that activity. For example, we said that in order to put this into practice, we have to contribute 2,000 Rwandan francs in order to buy fertilizers and all other resources that were needed in order to complete that activity. So I was the first to bring that idea, and I was the first to give that contribution. And this was effective because at the end, our committee had given those amount of money, and that garden is there as the memory of us. The other question is there anything else you would like us to know about you? Something that I would like you to know about me is that I'm a hard worker, and I take initiative, and when I meet the task that are so tough, I don't give up. Instead, I go to the expert, ask for advice and support so that I can accomplish my task. So it means that when I have a task, I make sure that I'm responsible for those tasks until it is accomplished. So thank you very much for your time.